November 14th, 2006. Sophie has consented to marry me. I am the happiest man alive. I met her earlier this evening to propose to her. Sophie is always very punctual and she was already waiting for me. But I was already 20 minutes late and desperately trying to find a taxi. I arrived just as a sleazy individual was approaching her. He walked off when he saw me, but I have a strange feeling that something terrible might have happened had things turned out differently. It's only when you're in danger of losing a loved one that you really become aware of your feelings. October 26th, 2010. It worked. That damn cat has become the first living being to ever travel to a parallel reality. A small leap for him, a giant weight off my back. October 27th, 2010. An emotion-filled day today. Sophie and I tested the machine for the very first time. As a guinea pig, I selected the superhero figurine that has been sitting in the lab for a while. But our engineer, Mike, practically threatened to quit if we laid a finger on his toy. Just as well. The vase we sent instead was broken to smithereens. As an aside, we found a small black cat in the lab when we arrived this morning. Nobody knows how it got here, but Sophie adopted it instantly. We have called it Schrodinger, obviously. January 19th, 2013. I have come back to study the machine in the complex. Their research is much more advanced than ours. I have to confess that I'm clueless to what it's all about, but the energy residue feeding the machine has fantastic properties. Still with no news of Sophie, I set off in search of the source. On the way, I shook off an angry bear by taking refuge in the strange stone relic. I had to cut the rope bridge behind me. I must find some other way back to the complex. When I arrived, the temple doors opened and I heard that kind of dying voice again. Obviously, there's no one inside. However, I did discover that what is in the temple was constructed by a completely different civilization to our own, maybe even by extraterrestrials. I managed to make the mechanism in the monolith work, and that activated something that looks like a kind of three-dimensional holographic interface. I'm going to need time to understand how it works. It's a pity Sophie isn't here. She would have loved it.
You managed to come back.
Yes, but I don't know for how long. We must be quick.
Tell me what you want.
Listen, with your other you, the you in my reality, we have made it possible to travel to different dimensions. But there was a problem. Franklin, the other one, he got stuck in this reality.
Why weren't you with him?
Because his journey wasn't planned. It was an accident. In the time it took me to find the right reality and to perfect his holographic technology, he had already disappeared. I scoured the island and found proof that he had survived here for a while. And I also found that before he disappeared, he had been in contact with the man who guides you.
Do you think he's responsible for his disappearance?
I don't have any formal proof, but he's the only one on the island, isn't he? And he scares me.
The guy seems sketchy to me, even though he hasn't harmed me at all. Or not yet, anyway.
There's something else. Everybody he brings to this reality and to whom he submits the same tests as you, the other subjects, they're...
What?
It was always you. Well, other you, at least. In different realities. And all of them have disappeared, like the Franklin I know.
Great.
Listen, I'll soon run out of energy. I understand if you feel like running away after what I told you. But if you decide to continue, and to meet the man, can you...
Find out what happened to the other Franklin? Yes, of course. If I'm gonna risk my life, I might as well do it trying to understand what the hell is going on rather than floating around on a plank of wood somewhere at sea.
Thanks, Franklin.
Sophie?
Yes?
My other me. He sure is one lucky guy.
I'll be back, Franklin.